So today we react to a video of someone, a wife, she released her husband from jail. When he got released, he killed his wife and his 3 kids. Let's get into it, y'all.
On the morning of December 11th, 2023, a man would visit his brother's apartment complex in Las Vegas to just check in on him. What he found instead was 5 bodies of a mother, his brother, and 3 children, all bloody with several gunshot wounds. Soon after, the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police were called to the 7500 block of Oso Blanco Road, near Durango Drive, and soon confirmed that these were the bodies of a family. The woman was Shanara Patterson, a 34-year-old mother and her 3 children, aged 6 to 14, and the man was Marvin Patterson, their father. In a tragic twist, this entire family was gone in one night because of a man's selfish decision. This case forces us to question our own instincts, the people we allow into our lives, and how well we truly know them. Before we get into our story, we would love to extend our deepest condolences to the family and friends of Shanara Patterson. Also, we would like to take this crime case as a close reminder to everyone to be careful with who we trust. Born on December 10, 1989 in Long Beach, California, Shanara Patterson, also called Nara by her friends and family, was a 34-year-old woman living in Las Vegas in the city of Nevada. She lived as a wife and the mother of 3 wonderful children: 14-year-old Keziah Cohn, who was born on October 6, 2009, 6-year-old Zamira Patterson, born on September 12, 2017, and 11-year-old Derek Jr., mostly known as DJ, who was born on December 6, 2012. Keziah was called Zaya, and Zamira was called Duty by family and friends. Her husband, Marvin Patterson, was her second partner, and only the father of 2 of her children, but despite that, the family seemed like a complete one. From the outside, they were a loving couple living a humble and happy life, often seen together in public and indoors making videos together. Generally, they had the perfect blended family. However, in a shocking discovery, this was not in fact the case at all. Shanara and Marvin Ray Patterson fell in love and tied the knot in Las Vegas in May 2019. They even created a wedding website for their guests to make reservations. In the Our Love Story section of the website, Shanara thanked God for sending her a partner who appreciated, loved her, and never belittled her. She goes on to mention that she would never take Marvin for granted. At this point, Shanara is very much in love with Marvin. That is why the couple had a grand wedding, because they wanted something that would stand out and express their love and commitment to one another. Her father walked her down the aisle where Shanara was seen wearing a beautiful gown. Unfortunately, her father passed shortly after the wedding, leaving her mother as her only parent. It is no surprise that Shanara now started seeking comfort and strength from her loving husband, who her father had last handed over to, as seen in the video. Although Shanara had 2 children already before meeting Marvin, it would seem as though they shared a common ground with family dynamics. Because Marvin had previously been married with 2 children as well, he had gotten a divorce in April 2019. A month before getting married to Shanara. Although details from that marriage are not clear, it did not stop him from being a father figure to Shanara's children. After some time, they soon had a baby of their own and became a family of 5. Although Las Vegas is primarily known for its gambling, shopping, fine dining, entertainment, and nightlife, Shanara made money in a different way. She was a cosmetologist who had amazing skills with hair care, especially when it came to braiding. She would also install wigs for customers, and her clients were notably women of color. One would say Shanara was a successful entrepreneur, and she was a very stylish young woman. She also looked amazing, from her makeup to her outfits, and especially her hairstyles. She always made sure she looked great. She also didn't take care of herself alone. Her kids always looked good too, whether it was at home or school. Not only did she pass her sense of great style to her children, but they also had her sweet, charismatic qualities. She was described by family and friends as sweet, kind, and selfless to everyone. Her daughter Keziah was funny and loved to draw, while Zamira Patterson was a generally sweet little girl. From all indications, it seemed as though Marvin was the best man for Shannara, because not only was he loving, but he was also good to his stepchildren. There were also no records of previous misconduct whatsoever to indicate he was a man to be wary about. You would think this family, just like many others, looked great from the outside, but one would soon discover the disturbing dark side hidden within this family. By the way, I post true crime and strange cases here weekly, so if that sounds like your kind of thing, please consider subscribing. It helps a lot. The dark side of Marvin Patterson began to surface in October 2022 when he was first arrested. The charges against him, as documented by the Clark County District Court, were serious crimes that involved 9 felony counts tied to offenses against children. These allegations included 5 counts of lewd acts with a child under the age of 14, 2 counts of assault on a minor under 16, 1 count of lewd conduct with a child under 16, and 1 count of first-degree kidnapping of a minor. The case was very popular due to the gravity of the accusations and the age of the victims. The alleged incidents took place between 2013 and 2022. This is quite the shocker, especially because this...
Bro, what? Nigga, 9 counts? Oh, well. This nigga tweaking. Hell no.
Same man had a 14-year-old stepdaughter living in the same house as he was. The people that Marvin assaulted are alleged to be girls of who had once lived in the apartment that he shared with Shannara and the kids. As expected, his disgusting behavior led him to jail. According to records from the Las Vegas Justice Court, his bail was initially set at $100,000 by a substitute judge with strict conditions attached, including surrendering his passport to prevent any attempts to flee, undergoing high-level electronic monitoring, and being prohibited from having any contact with minors under the age of 18. These measures were put in place to ensure both his appearance in courts and the safety of the community. However, Marvin did not have the $100,000 to pay bail, so he spent 2 months in jail awaiting his hearing. This was a man who had a family of 5. Obviously, he did not have $100,000 saved anywhere. At this point, Marvin was singing his innocence everywhere, so Brett Whipple, his attorney, filed a request to lower his client's bail. The request for a reasonable bail was presented to Judge Diana Sullivan, who was the real presiding judge over the case, on December 15, 2022. The motion argued that the initial $100,000 bail was unaffordable for Patterson, and that a reasonable bail along with release upon conditions would be much appreciated. He further claimed that Marvin wasn't a flight risk because he had submitted his passport, although it was never confirmed whether he did commit these crimes or not because he was late when court documents were first reviewed. The motion submitted by Marvin's legal team argued that there was little evidence from the state. They even said that the charges of rape and kidnapping against Patterson had little supporting evidence. Additionally, several people testified about his character, including his brother, his wife, China, his former girlfriend, and his son. According to court records, his brother was present at the December 15th hearing to reduce his bail. These were all still an attempt to reduce the $100,000 bail to $10,000. Eventually, the judge reduced Patterson's bail to $10,000, even though the conditions of his release remained unchanged. Patterson managed to pay the bail and was released. He was placed under house arrest with a tracking device used to monitor his whereabouts. Now remember, he had a 14-year-old stepdaughter that meant he would have to live in a separate building from his current family. This was the worst decision that could have been made in this situation. What nobody knew, including Shannara and Marvin's brother, was that he was a monster who only a few months later would commit the most heinous crime against Shannara, his 3 children, and then himself. When Marvin arrived home, after paying $10,000 bail, he would find himself facing an increase in family expenses. Given that the average cost of a rented apartment in Las Vegas as of 2023 was $1,104 per month in some affordable areas, while other areas have much higher prices with an average rent around $1,472 per month. Now, in November, Shannara had been evicted from the home she had temporarily rented, so she moved back in with Marvin along with their kids.
This is not even a joking matter. I'm not trying to sound like an asshole or trying to talk shit right now. But you see, he went to jail for the allegations of what, for the crimes he committed. Before you even see if this is true or not, because they're trying to say it's not true, it's not enough proof. I understand, okay? You got evicted, okay? You need to find somewhere to stay because you have kids. I know that. Say that. Cool. But you couldn't have picked anywhere else. You couldn't have picked anywhere else to move. That was your first and only option? Was that your first option and only option? Did you have other thoughts of, did you at least have other options before going to that option, bro? This could have been prevented. But you decided to move back in with the dude that is accused for 9 counts of child abuse. 9 counts. We don't know if it's true or not yet. We have to see the proof. They're saying there's not enough proof. But yet he still got convicted and went to jail. Gave him a $100,000 bail. They lowered the bail and everything, but this shit's actually real. It's not like he did not go to jail. Sorry, our power just turned back on. It's getting windy over here in Georgia, but it's not like you, I lost my train of thought. It's not like you didn't see him go to jail. You understood that he went to jail, so this shit's real. So you should take that shit serious too. And now this is what happened. You moved him back in the house, not taking the allegations that was put against him seriously. And you put your kids in danger. I don't want to talk bad about the dead. They already passed away. But at the same time, I feel like this could have been prevented. Tough, bro.
Since he was the man she loved and she believed in his innocence, she did not think Marvin was capable of inflicting harm on her, let alone the children. She did this completely ignoring the fact that the same man was on restrictions from being anywhere near children below 18 years old. Almost exactly a year after facing court on December 11th, 2023, a day after Shannara celebrated her birthday and turned 34, the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department received a panic call from Marvin's brother Jason.
A warning, the following audio may be hard to hear.
They're all gone. I need the police. I don't know who it is to come.
You need police or medical?
I need medical. I hear one of the kids, they're breathing. They're trying to breathe.
Marvin Patterson's brother, frantic, around 10 a.m. December 11th. He says Marvin texted him, overwhelmed. Then he kicked down the apartment door to see the tragedy within.
I saw my nieces, his nephews. I think they're gone, and then he was in the bed with his wife, and they're deceased as well.
The property manager also calling police.
One of the children's gasping. They look like they've all been shot in the back of the head. The 2 adults are dead in the bed.
Okay. And do they have gunshot wounds too? Fire medical services.
Yes.
Okay. Do not hang up.
Gunshot wounds and blood coming out their ears.
He called to report the bloodied bodies he saw in Marvin's apartment. The night before the incident, Marvin had told his brother that he was getting evicted and his car was going to get repossessed. Jason had decided to check up on his brother the following day, only to find an extremely traumatizing image in front of him. Shannara, Zaya, Duty, DJ, and himself had all been shot by Marvin, who turned the gun on himself last. However, even with the panicking, he realized only DJ was breathing faintly, so he immediately called 911, requesting an ambulance and medical aid to save DJ. Sadly, Shannara and her daughters were pronounced dead immediately, but DJ was able to survive after being rushed to UMC, University Medical Center. DJ not only sustained physical injuries, but has been emotionally and mentally scarred due to this incident. This case leaves many questions and emotional trauma, leaving people to question why he wasn't kept in jail. What could have possibly prompted this murderous nature, and did anybody have any idea of the kind of man Marvin was before this incident? Marvin may have been feeling some signs of depression and frustration towards how his life was going, which may have been why he took it out on his family and on himself in the end. In the heat of the moment, many close relatives and friends of Shannara expressed their opinion, saying he should never have been let out of jail, implying that he should have remained there for the safety of not only the family, but for the general society at large. Several activists also criticized the judge who reduced his bail to only $10,000, stating that he would still be in jail if it was still $100,000.
We need to sit down and we need to have a conversation. We need to talk with Metro. We need to talk with the individuals that are working in the judicial system. We need to hold this judge accountable and understand why she did what she did, and how do we make sure that that does not happen again.
The truth is that many people came around to speak on his behalf to convince the judge that he was a good person. Jasmine Lee, who is the founder of a charity that provides support for murdered people of color, was shocked when she saw Marvin's charges. She called his release a slap in the face to victims. Demanding accountability from the court, she wondered why he was released when he was facing serious child abuse allegations. Marvin's case regarding the assault would have been taken to trial in April 2024, but in December 2023, he decided to take the lives of his wife, children, and himself. In an utterly disgusting manner, he did not spare anyone, even his biological daughter. Instead, he wanted his family to leave the world with him. The funeral of Shannara Patterson and her two daughters was a heart-wrenching event that brought together a grieving community in Las Vegas. The tragedy that claimed their lives left many in shock and mourning, with the funeral serving as a moment for loved ones to pay their respects and say their final goodbyes. The event was a blend of sorrow and reflection, with heartfelt tributes pouring in from those who knew them best.
The description was awful. They were saying the kid was bleeding from ear to ear. All of them were shot in the back of the head, so it's not like they saw it coming. I'm not sure if he decided to shoot the kids first and then shoot the wife. Well, I think it would presumably be he shot the kids first, which he shoots the wife first while they're all in the room. It wouldn't, I feel like the kids would have had would fight, run, so they wouldn't just stand there and let their dad shoot them in the back of the head, right? So it was, they didn't see it coming. He was trying to do it execution style, shoot him in the back of the head, killed both of the daughters while doing that, shot the boy, but he lived and shot himself, well, shot her, the wife, and then himself. The brother came in and only seen the son breathing for air and everybody else was dead. So even though with him seeing something that he probably never thought he would ever see in his life, he still acted as a man and still was able to save the boy and call the ambulance, call the police to get the boy some help. Because for somebody to see 5 laid out bodies, bloody everywhere, you probably wouldn't even have enough time to react to call, because you're just like, damn, just death everywhere. You know, your first time seeing that. He still kept it composed enough to save the boy, and now the family does not die. The family, the lineage or the legacy of that family is not dead. It's weaker because what happened, but it's not dead. Now it's up to him. Not saying I'm trying to put a burden on the boy. We need to help him to the point where he can now help himself and help others, and show that the shit that he is going through as a kid, and he's gonna be an adult one day, and technically not an orphan, but he has a lot of family, but he doesn't have a mom or dad or any siblings at all, but he was with them for an amount of time. So he's gonna remember all of this that happened to him, how he got shot in the head by his father, or I guess stepfather, or is it his real father? No, he had a daughter, so his stepfather shot him in the head. His stepfather killed his mom. His stepfather killed his sisters. He's gonna have to go through that for his whole life now. You see what I'm saying? So that's good. They put him in therapy as well. But he's gonna be a strong boy. If we keep keep him right, because I understand that something like that, mentally draining, can really take you somewhere really left when you're trying to go to the right path. So we gotta have him. We gotta take care of this boy, man. When I'm saying we, I'm saying as a culture, not just us on the internet or me or the nigga next door. Nah, like as an internet and as a culture, things that happen to people like that, we feel like it shouldn't happen to them, because he looks like a kind soul, a happy boy, a happy child, right? But he got shot in the back of the head by his own stepfather, and then he's alive, but knowing that both his sisters and his mother is dead. His whole immediate family is gone. And he has to live with that for the rest of his life. So we have to understand that there's certain things that you just can't control in life. And for that to happen to that boy is so fucked up. But he didn't know what to do at that. He got shot in the back of the head by his fucking stepfather. That's the guy that you see for protection, right? Or your father, right? And he got shot in the head by, what else? You have to really help, his mental has to go through a lot. Because he's thinking, who else can protect me at my age when my own father shot me in the back of my head and I just happen to live? Because he's gonna get to a point where he's a fully grown man and he may question things, even with the therapy that he gets. It's tough, man. I've been praying for him, though.
Shannara's mother, Jamesetta Bernoudi, gave a tearful eulogy, expressing her disbelief at the tragedy. She spoke of her daughter's loving nature and her grandchildren's promising futures, and how none of this would have happened if Marvin was left in jail. To help with funeral expenses, food truck owner Isaiah Robinson, who said that he knew the family, created a fundraiser. He expressed that he just wanted to send the children off the right way. Jamesetta Bernoudi, along with other family members, expressed their deep gratitude for the outpouring of support. In a public statement, she said that they were overwhelmed by the kindness and generosity of everyone who has reached out to help during this time. In the aftermath of the tragedy, a GoFundMe campaign was launched by Derek Cox, a relative, to help cover the funeral expenses and DJ's medical care and ongoing therapy. Out of the $100,000 goal, only $5,119 has been raised at the time I recorded this story. I will leave a link to this page in the description section below. As the family navigates the aftermath of this loss, they do so with the knowledge that they are not alone. The community's response, as well as the outpouring of support at the funeral, provided a glimmer of hope in an otherwise dark time. Moving forward, while the funeral provided a moment of closure for many, the healing process is just beginning. Derek's recovery remains the primary focus for his surviving family members. The tragedy of Shannara Patterson and her daughters is one of the saddest stories we have covered, because it was caused by someone they trusted deeply. Through this all, and the sheer wickedness of Marvin, he was not able to successfully kill his family as Derek survived against all odds. It is a testament to the strength and resilience of the human spirit. What do you think? Could this case have been avoided if Marvin's $100,000 bail still remained?
The judges go and how they switched to a substitute judge, and they gave him the substitute judge gave him $100K, but the other judge that was supposed to be there in the first place reduced his bond to $10,000, to where he was able to afford that and pay it and get out. And within that same time frame, before he was supposed to go to trial, he killed his whole family, including himself. So I understand when people are like, fuck this judge. This judge should not have a job. We have to question the judge. Why would she do what she did? I mean, I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. I'm trying to look on the other side too and see what was she thinking at. Like, she let him go because I guess, no, as far as the system, I'm pretty sure, how good was his lawyers? Because they were saying he can't afford $100K, but yet they was able to reduce this to $10K. It was up to the judge at the end of the day. Fuck the lawyers, it was up to the judge, and I feel like she made a bad call on this one. If you have that many counts from 2013 and 2022, there's no way that all of them are lies. Now, they possibly could be all of them, couldn't be lies, right? Because you could, but why would it be a recurring thing that each lie is the same lie of a different scenario? Like this little girl said, you did this. Okay, that's a lie. Oh, I didn't do that. But then sometime later, in some different area in a different part of the fucking world, whatever, you know, could be still in Georgia or wherever he's at, wherever he went to jail at. Let's say specifically like he's in the state of Florida or whatever, right? And he does something, well, he's accused of something in Florida. Not true, right? But then he gets accused of something else the following month in the same state. Okay, it's not true. I don't know why people keep accusing you, but it's not true. Okay, cool. And then another one happens in the same time frame, in the same state. And it's like, okay, well, it's not true, but yeah, why do people keep blaming your ass for this shit? Why do niggas keep on blaming you for touching little kids? What's going on here? What's good? Okay, it's not true. Third time the charm, okay? Not true. So after this, that means we shouldn't hear about you no more, right? They shouldn't just accuse you of anything else any more than this, right? All right. Then you got 5 more counts of this shit. And it's just like, all right, bro. You got 9 counts of all this shit you said you didn't do to these kids, bro. Well, we're gonna still put your ass in jail and we're gonna increase your bail. You can afford it? Okay. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, that's what we look at it like the judge is tweaking, because why does he have 9 counts of this stuff? And even though the lawyers are saying there's no proof, why the fuck is it 9 motherfuckers thinking that he's the nigga touching them or taking them somewhere? 9 kids just lied on a random grown man? The 9 kids just lied on a random grown man. This is what I'm trying to, like, it's common sense. Why would 9 kids just want to, kids don't even lie. They tell the truth too much. And it hurts adults. When motherfuckers, oh, you stink, mister. You really do stink though, nigga. We just ain't tell your ass, but you stink. Oh, you're fat. I mean, you know, you kind of stopped going to the gym, dog, and you started eating more pizza. Like, what do you expect? I'm not trying to, you see how, you know, kids would just tell you this truth straight up. So it's like, if you got 9 counts of doing these shit with under 18-year-olds, bro, and you just thinking that all 9 are just all lies, all of them are lies, don't believe anything, that's crazy. So for the judge to reduce his bail so much to the point where he can just easily afford it, that's crazy, because now he can get out and still do the shit he was already accused of not doing or doing. So I see why motherfuckers is mad at the judge. But at the end of the day, you know, keep them in, you know, you guys' prayers. That is sickening what happened. I really do hope when years go by that the little boy, he actually is able to grow up and still have a great, I still hope he has somewhat of a great childhood as the age he is now, and to go further and beyond in life and use that as fuel to be better. I know that's hard to say. That's not easy to say. I mean, that's hard to do. It's easy to say, but hard to do, because who has went through something like that in their life other than the 5% of motherfuckers on this planet? It ain't been 65% of motherfuckers that went through what he just went through with his whole family dying or whatnot, and he barely survived it. It's only been about 5 to 10%, not even 10. Like, nigga, 3 to 5% of motherfuckers in life has went through what he's went through. So, and the best way to help somebody go through something, like, I mean, the best way to help somebody, you would think, would be like, oh, if you can find somebody that can fully relate to your lifestyle and what you went through. But who is relatable to that little boy when he grows up to become a man and still has trauma? Who is relatable to him? The 5 to 3%. That'll be hard to find, but this is why you have the internet, and the internet is growing every year. So it'll be easier to find for him to find the 5% of motherfuckers that went through what he went through. But it's still gonna be hard as shit. It's not gonna be as easy. I mean, it's not gonna be as hard because you have the internet, so you're able to find motherfuckers that went through what you went through. But just to still because at the end of the day, all you have is yourself. You have family, you have friends, but you really just have yourself. And when you're young, trying to understand that, it's hard when you ain't got motherfuckers around you showing you that you really just have yourself. So he may have a traumatic thing where he has attachment issues now because his family passed away and he didn't know how to cope with that as a kid. So now he becomes attached to something or someone else that may be the bad influence for him. So this is why I'm saying we have to protect him. The boy that survived this shooting, we have to protect him because he can get in the hands of a bad influencer and become a fucking demon. Oh God, seriously, also. But that's really it for the video. Hopefully I'm able to render and save and upload all of this because I think this video is going to be about 25 minutes long. I may try to cut it up some more as much as I can. But other than that, y'all, if y'all fuck with the video, man, go ahead and leave it a like, leave it a share, comment down below, subscribe to my channel. Y'all boys be safe. I'm out.